Well, hello there, brothers and sisters of WoT Blitz universe. You're watching WoT Blitz Addict again. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're gonna talk about the Mark 6, the Cheftain Mk, the enriched British Tier 10 heavy tank. Basically, it's a great tank. You can compare it somehow with the Cheftain Action X, and all those American hold-down tanks, but basically we're gonna look at the stats. If you want to check exact stats, you can just pause the video and just look at whatever you want. I don't want to waste much of a time. I'm gonna tell you about the good things and the bad things about the tank while we will be watching the gameplay. So if you want to take a peek, just pause. And now let's go and check the consumables. So multi-purpose restoration pack as usual for me, repair kit and adrenaline. For provisions I'm using pudding and tea. I'm using improved fuel and protective kit. It's really crucial for this tank. Ammo loadout 39 of APCR, 24 of premium APCR and 27 of hash shells. Gun rammer, I'm using gun rammer to increase the DPM, but if you use calibrated shells, you can see the penetration on hash is really great, so you can use it as well. But you will slightly lose your DPM. So enhanced gun laying drive, of course. I'm using also vertical stabilizer. I'm using defense system, using enhanced armor and toolbox. Improved optics, improved control, and high-end consumables, or you can use delivery system. It depends on your playstyle. Now let's look at the armor. As you can see, it's a typical hold-down tank, 10 degrees of gun depression, so top gun depression on tier 10, and the turret is strong as hell. Also the front upper plate, so it's kind of like a Cheftain, like I told you, but the weak spot is the hatch on top, as you can see. And we're shooting with E100, so the big gun, 150mm gun, and this tank can't really side script. Of course, you can get some troll bounce on the side, but in general, try to face your opponents frontally always, because otherwise it's really paper. Only the front of the turret is really that strong, and the front upper plate. So you're losing kind of armor all around. But you're gaining mobility. You're gaining really great mobility. And now we're gonna watch the battles and talk about the tank itself. Like I told you, I didn't want to talk about it in the beginning, just show you these tables with stats, because that's not the point of my reviews, and it's boring basically. So it's better to watch the game while we're gonna talk about those stats. So as I told you, this tank is really mobile. Look at it, goes like it's almost like a medium tank. It's really fast on even if you're going up the hill, it's not losing that much. Of course it's slowing down. It's fairly heavy, but it still is really mobile for a heavy tank. And with your strong turret and with your strong upper plate, you can sit and hold down, and as long as the enemy's not gonna push you, you can do great stuff. As you can see, the gun is basically what sells this tank for me, because the gun is so accurate, perfectly accurate. I think it's the most accurate gun in general on tier 10 that you can easily snapshot with this tank, and you will still be able to hit most of your shots. So you don't need time on target to just look what's going on. You don't need the time on target to get your shots done. And as you can see, the penetration also isn't bad. I would say it's not phenomenal, of course, but it's good enough to easily penetrate through the weak spots of Maugs, E100, Jagdpanzer E100. So the most, oh, even the cheeks, yeah, as you can see. But I think I'm shooting Pramo APCR right now. We're gonna check, but still, it's really great. As you can see, the Jagdpanzer was able to get through my hatch probably. But you simply need to be mobile, wiggle your tank to don't sit, simply don't sit in one spot, because if they am at your hatch, they will simply get your hatch, and you will get punished for sitting still. You simply need to move. But as you can see, the gun is really fast aiming, so it's fairly easy to be effective. As you can see, the sides of the VK72 aren't really any trouble for this tank. Basically, that's what I like about it. The gun is phenomenal. The HE penetration, I don't know why it's called HE. I just it's basically like hash, but even if it's HE, you have HE with hash penetration, basically. So 120 on with calibrated shells, 112 or 110 without them. So it's really more than enough to simply do your HE shells and just hit them with full penetration. And when you hit them with full penetration, you have 550 average roll, which is really great for a tank with such a large DPM. When you shoot hash, mostly hash, and you penetrate most of your shots, you can really get your DPM, I guess, about 4K, which is really impressive for a heavy tank. You have to remember it's a heavy tank. On stats, of course, because but if you face hack in this tank, you can really face hack effectively. All you need to do is hide your hatch, because if you won't hide your hatch, if you let your enemies shoot your hatch, you will be punished for sticking out. So we're gonna roll against the grill. As you can see, we're not trying to poke out too much, we're not taking time on target, we're just shooting, and the hash went straight in with no issues, simply because grill is paper. It can't really be think you can bounce or not even fully penetrate with this tank. It's basically not possible. And look how good is dispersion on the move. I'm just rotating my tank, I'm just rotating my turret, and the aiming circle is still very small and very nice. I was tuning here with my one of my subscribers, the YOLO loves RNG, from RNG clan, and he was driving his beloved Foch, and I was just thinking like, yeah, I will drive some Cheftain, because I really like this tank. Of course, this tank isn't incredible, you know, like it's not 100% guarantee or pay to win tank. It's strong when used correctly, when you know how to use it, when you go hold down, when you hide your hatch and your hull, and just show your enemies the turret, then yes, this tank is really effective, and then you can say that it's almost pay to win. But that's basically about the gun, not about the armor. The mobility and the gun, just you have to know how to play it and like this playstyle, like to be an aggressive, sometimes how to when to stay put, when to be aggressive, and how to get along with the tank to be effective in it. So if you go around, I have no idea why low rolled or I bounced on the back. Yeah, okay. And then we're gonna see this T92 up the hill. We're just trying to get him down. Snapshot goes in. Unfortunately, we hit the gun probably because it was really low roll. But that's the pace. That's the price you need to pay for shooting cash. As you can see, another one hit the tracks, but this time I will hit the side armor. But really low rolled for 400, I guess. So not really a high roll, but yeah. So if you have, this tank cost me about 20,000 gold, and I wasn't really, never was wondering if I spent this gold correctly, because hell yeah, I did. Because simply this tank is great. It's really great, and the main thing, as you can see, it's that it's earning credits. For this battle we earned like 62,000 credits. profit, just net to profit. So after all the paying for provisions and so on. So it's the only 10 I have in my garage that constantly can get you money, no matter if you win or lose. Of course, if you won't do any damage and you lose the game, you will lose some credits, but it's just like normal. But if you win the game and you do a lot of damage, you can reach, I don't know, probably about 100k even, if you having a really good battle. In average battle, I'm just below, let's say 40 and 60 or 70,000 credits. So for a tier 10, I really love to get those kind of credits on tier 10. Yeah, I was trying to bait the shot on the front plate here, but the IS just decided to shoot my lower plate. But as you can see, side scraping IS-4 isn't really a match for this tank, which is great. The gun is really phenomenal, and I love that it's not heat. You have APCR, standard ammo, and APCR premium ammo, and this premium APCR ammo gives you this bonus. Of course, you have less penetration, but you have great thing, which is the penetrating of spaced armor. And the Russian, especially Russian heavies, have loads of spaced armor all over the place. And with this ammunition, you are able simply to get your damage, because otherwise the heat will simply break on the tracks and you won't be able to get any damage. I'm trying to get on the other side, but I was spotted. I decided to take this hit to get around, because they are sitting in one place, one spot, and we can't do pretty much nothing. And my amigo Cura in mouse is really bleeding out there. So we're gonna just push on the C100, because the C100 sits in a position where he can crossfire with his team on the back, and he's not really paying attention to us. So we're gonna just punish him. You can see he's slightly angled, and we can see the back, but still it's not really hard to penetrate it. Of course, we're not able to penetrate it with hash or HE, depends how you call it, but for me it's hash basically, and it's cheap as hell also, so that's the second great thing about it. So it's cheap, it's reliable, and it does a lot of damage. So yeah, it's advised to use it, and I really trying, as you can see, in every battle I always check if I can pan with hash. If I can pan, then I'm using hash. If I can't, well, I'm going for the PCR, because the difference is 150, so 110. So you're shooting for average roll 440, as I remember, or 400, or APCR, and you're shooting for 550 for your hash. So the difference is enough to make you risk shooting HE, because as you can see, the pan, the Progetto doesn't stand a chance. My amigo is trying to help me here. We bounce one shot from Progetto, and as soon as he will poke out, it's gonna be over for him. So we're gonna just try to get on the side, try to push on them, because it's 4-on-3 right now. It's not ideal situation to sit and wait for the battle outcome. I still have lots of HP, and as you can see, it was before the buff. The game was recorded before the armor buff, and the HP buff. Now the Cheftain is sitting at about 2,500 hit points, more or less. I would need to check, but if you check the beginning of the video, the stats are the latest ones, because this part was recorded just before I did this video, so you can see the actual HP. And with this HP buff, it really makes this tank even more reliable, because you can take at least one more shot and absorb it on your HP pool, and this really can be a difference between winning and losing the game. And that's basically all for this review, boys and girls. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Please consider subscribing to my channel, If you want to talk with me, join my Discord. We are still gaining people on my Discord, and we're just working on some nice stuff over there right now. So if you want to be a part of it, please feel free to join in, and we can chat, we can have some fun, we can send some memes and so on. So basically that's all for this episode. Take care, bye bye, hope you enjoyed it, and catch you all on the battlefield.